Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Telecom Talk Show. My name is Tana Singh Thakur, and joining us today is Mr. Nishant Bansal. He's the Senior Research Manager at IDC India. Nishant, how are you doing?
I'm good, Tanay. How are you?
I'm also good, Nishant. So, Nishant, I would not like to take a lot of your time, and we'll just dive in right into the topic. So, 5G spectrum
Sure.
auctions are over, and the telcos are right now laying down the infrastructure for rolling out 5G. At
Yeah.
this point, on the backdrop of this, how fast do you think India will become a nation where most consumers would be 5G users, not just 5G smartphone owners, but 5G services consumers?
So we believe, the rollout, as mentioned by both Jio and Airtel, will start from October onwards. It will be restricted to key metro cities initially, maybe Delhi, Mumbai. I think with Reliance, with Jio, you can expect Jamnagar to be on top of the list. But for India, for 5G to become pan-India, it will take at least 2-3 years at a bare minimum. The reason is that one, of course, as you mentioned, smartphone. So we are at a very low penetration of 5G smartphones at present. And we are also at a very low penetration of fiberized infrastructure. So from a smartphone perspective, we are only at about, if I talk about 2022, right from 2020, when first 5G phone was launched in India, we are looking at exiting 2022 with around 80 to 85 million 5G smartphones. And in 2023, as per IDC, we believe 50% of smartphones shipped in 2023 will be 5G. So we can expect another 85 to 90 million to be added in 2023. So 85 million this year, another 85, 90 million next year. So around 170 million smartphones of 5G by 2023. So, and it's a big country. We are a 1.3 billion population country. So, to reach about 500, 600 million smartphones, 5G smartphones, it will take about 2025, I believe. So that is from the smartphone user. So first, you have to have a smartphone to use 5G services. And the second is in fiberized. So we are at 35% fiberization. And for pan India, at a bare minimum, we need to get to around 70-75%. But the good thing is that government has given out the backhaul, band, E-band, 250 megahertz band, along with the spectrum. So that helps telcos rapidly, scale up their fiberized infrastructure. So we expect that fiberization to a great extent will also be achieved by another 2 years. Maybe somewhere around mid 2024 timeframe, we should be at around 70-75% fiberized infrastructure. And also, besides E-band, government has simplified the ROW rules, right of way rules, to a great extent to improve, to rapidly speed up fiberization. I was reading, it used to take about 439 days for an approval in 2019, and the minister, our honorable minister, is claiming that it will take only 16 days now. So that's a rapid improvement. So I think we are at, but still, for 5G to become mainstream in terms of usage, penetration, smartphone penetration, everything, we are looking at around 2 years time frame at a bare minimum.
So, Nishant, let's talk a little more about the 5G penetration, smartphone penetration. For the telcos to really make a return from their consumer segment market, they need people to own 5G smartphones. No.
Yeah.
So where does that stand today, the 5G smartphone penetration? And in the coming 3 to 5 years, where will it go?
So, the first 5G smartphone in India was launched in 2020. In 2022, at present, we are looking at another 50 to 55 million shipments of 5G smartphones. So starting from 2020, adding 2022 shipments, we will be exiting 2022 at around 85 to 90 million roughly smartphones, 5G smartphones. So and then next year onwards, we will be, we will be roughly touching 50% 5G smartphone shipments. So out of two mobile phones, one will be 5G. That is going to be shipped into India, or that is going to be sold in India. So with 50% share of smartphones in 2023, we can expect another 90 million in just 2023. So 90 million. So if we are looking at around 170 to 180 million smartphones, roughly around 18 crore. That is, if we translate into Indian, numbers. So 18 crore smartphones by end of basically 2023. So for it to go to about 50-60 crores, we are still about at least 2 years away, And also we have to remember 5G smartphone ASP currently is quite high. So we are at about, last year it was around $430. This year we are looking to exit at around $330. And if we convert into, let's say, INR at around 80, so we are roughly at around what? I think 27,000, that will be exiting in this year. So, as 5G smartphones penetration increases, their share increases. So I'm sure at one point of time, we will be looking at around 80% of market share from 5G smartphones in the next 2 to 3 years. So the ASP will come down significantly at an affordable level for a common user to purchase 5G smartphones. Right now, at 25-30K, it is still out of reach of common consumers. So, but it's rapidly declining. So it has declined almost $100 in 1 year, and we expect that rapid decline to continue in the coming years, and 5G will become mainstream. But another important point that I must add is the uptake from consumer may not be as rapid as the deployment of 5G by telcos. So we can expect consumers to follow the natural device refresh cycle and not just buy a new 5G smartphone just because 5G services are available. That is what our expectation is. That consumer will not be willing to go rapidly into just 5G. Okay, there's a new 5G smartphone available. 5G is also available in my area, so I'll buy a new 5G smartphone. They are likely to follow the device refresh cycle.
And that actually makes a lot of sense, Nishant. So my next question for you would be, we know that 5G can deliver greater speeds, lower latencies. But apart from that, what can 5G really enable from the consumers and enterprises as well?
So I think the bigger play for 5G is enterprises. With 4G, the telcos have been restricted to monetization from consumers only. And because of low ARPUs in India, low ARPUs, telcos have been struggling to become profitable and monetize their investments in spectrum procurements and, laying out the infrastructure with 4G. But with 5G, the whole enterprise, opens up for them as a monetization play. They can reach out to enterprises, with private networks, with various services, so there are multiple use cases in the enterprise space with running smart factories. With healthcare, you have, remote surgeries, etc. There are multiple use cases around 5G for enterprises across all the sectors, even right from automotive to manufacturing to healthcare. So 5G becomes a good major play in the enterprise segment for telcos, which they can look at monetization. For consumers, it may not bring anything much initially. That is why, our expectation that consumers may stick with 4G for the time being till, they are, let's say, tired of their phones, or their phones start malfunctioning and they have to upgrade to a newer version. There are use cases around, let's say, gaming, etc. But for a consumer like you and me, we are already streaming our Netflixes and Hotstars at decent HD, with a buffering without any lag. So, unless they migrate to 4K, 8K video streaming, I think Amazon Prime, I have seen there, they have launched some videos at 4K, etc. So maybe with 4K, becomes mainstream. Right now, HD is mainstream. So with UHD, 4K, etc. When it becomes mainstream, hopefully there will be good uses from consumers. But for accessing a daily dose of YouTube, etc., I think 4G is good enough. So, with time, maybe AR, VR gaming, etc., they'll, push consumers to opt for 5G. But as of now, there isn't much use case for consumers to just rapidly migrate to 5G, just at the whim.
So, Nishant, it's interesting to hear you talk about the 5G use cases, several of them. Now, I'd just like to understand from your perspective, your personal preference, okay? What is one 5G use case that you think will be the most exciting and will make a big difference to your life?
My life.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not, from a consumer point of view, I'm not much of a gamer kind of a person. I do stream a lot. I do watch, Netflix's, Hotstars. Well, I like to watch. I like to stream my cricket instead of watching it on a normal TV channel. So I think the biggest use case from my personal point of view, I look forward to these streaming folks are giving me maybe 4K, 8K or 3D kind of an experience right at my home. I can buy a bigger TV and watch a 3D movie, without any lag or etc. I can buy 3D glasses at home, So that's what I am looking forward to from a 5G perspective, from a personal consumption point of view. But I think the biggest benefit that 5G brings to the table is what I've been reading is from the remote surgery, healthcare, the benefits it brings to the healthcare from a remote surgeries. A person sitting in some remote village in India can have access to a doctor sitting in, let's say, AIIMS Delhi via virtual, mode. They can get their MRI done by a virtual mode. They can get their remote surgery done by a virtual mode. So that brings a major transformation in the healthcare, in India. So I think that's what I am looking forward to from a use case point of view from an enterprise. Of course, there are use cases around smart factories. I don't think we will have driverless cars or autonomous cars in India. We don't follow our traffic rules as much in India, and our roads are not built for driverless cars and all that. So I don't think that will happen with India. But yeah, smart factories, healthcare, these are some of the use cases I see.
So, Nishant, now let's shift our focus back to something that happened over a month ago. I am talking about the 5G spectrum auctions. They were concluded on August 1. And now we know the telcos, what kind of spectrum do they hold for 5G offerings. So, I'd just like to take an overall understanding of your understanding of the 5G spectrum auctions, whatever happened there. And then I would also like to know from you whether you think Jio will have an advantage over Airtel and Vodafone Idea because it has access to sub-gigahertz spectrum.
Yeah.
So, just give me your thoughts.
So auctions, went as expected. There was expectation before the auction that Jio will end up spending close to 80K crores, and Airtel was expected around 35-40 crores, 40,000 crores, and similarly Vodafone to what they spent. So I won't say auction went above and beyond expectations from a revenue generation point of view for government. It went as per expectation because the spectrum cost was highest in the world. We have to remember the 3.3 to 3.6 gigahertz was among the highest in the world. So auctions went as expected. But yes, the surprising factor was that Jio picked up 700 gigahertz spectrum, which has been going unsold in 2016, 2021, spectrum auctions. Maybe because the price was high and finally TRAI was forced to lower the prices. I'm not sure what was the price in 2016 and 2021 on auctions for the 700 gigahertz. But yeah, this time TRAI was forced to drop the prices significantly. So that was the major surprise factor. But given the fact that now Jio has acquired 700 gigahertz, sub gigahertz, and it has its own advantages, it has greater coverage. It can penetrate the wall very easily. So, there are certain advantages to it. And of course, the big advantage is that Jio can have a 5G standalone network. From an enterprise point of view, that's a big advantage for Jio. So, of course, they will have advantage over Vodafone. Vodafone didn't take, spectrum in all the circles. They only took in 17 circles. So they will have big advantage over Vodafone's. Airtel has been very competitive, and Airtel also has acquired spectrum across all the categories, all the circles. So I don't see them having a huge competitive edge over Airtel per se, just because they have 700 gigahertz. Airtel has been very vocal that they already have sub gigahertz spectrum, and they also procured a mix of 900 gigahertz, 1800 and 2100 spectrum. So just that, Airtel may require maybe more investment in capex compared to Jio, because their bands will have slightly lesser coverage. So they may have to invest more in reaching out to, let's say, end consumer at home. But we have to remember also that Airtel has a big chunk of the high-end paying customer compared to Jio. Jio's customers are at the slightly low-paying ones. Airtel has major chunk of high-end customers, and also Airtel has already good penetration in the enterprise space with their broadband and fiber network. So I won't count Airtel out, at any disadvantage compared to Jio.
Okay, so Nishant, this will be my last question for you. Okay. So I just want to know, do you own a 5G smartphone? And another thing, when 5G is available in your area, would you directly upgrade to it?
I have, yes, recently purchased a new phone just about 2 months back, and it is 5G. And I am on Airtel, and I am currently at 499 plan.
Okay.
I am not sure if Airtel launches a plan at similar price points, maybe I'll consider yes. But if they launch at, let's say, 799 or something, I won't be looking to spend that extra 300 or 400 rupees or even 100 rupees. If they launch a plan at 499 with, let's say, similar GB worth of downloads, I think currently we get what, 70, 75 GB at 499. I'm not sure, or 50 GB or 30 GB. I don't know, whatever the amount is. But still, if they give the same features at similar prices, maybe I'll look to migrate to 5G if my phone supports it. I don't know, because there are multiple bands within 5G, N78, etc., etc. Some phones may support a particular band. So if my phone supports a particular band which is offered by Airtel, and if there's no premium that I need to pay, because I must tell you, in the countries where the 5G has been launched, most telcos have not increased their pricing or charge premium for 5G. They are offering 5G at similar plans as 4G. So there is no premium that is being charged by telcos. Just that maybe, let's say, if Airtel has a 199 plan, they are not likely to offer 5G at 199 plans. They may start at a minimum 399 or 499 plan, I believe. But there is no premium being charged by telcos around the world for 5G services.
Gotcha, Nishant. Thank you so much for your valuable time and the valuable insights. I hope we can have one more conversation like this in the near future, and I wish you all the best ahead.
Thank you so much, Tanay. And I must congratulate you for your coverage of the 5G auctions. The day auctions were concluded, I was following your website, for all the information. I could see that you were probably the first one who was uploading all the information about, Airtel circle information, by circle information of Airtel, Jio, and Vodafone. You were probably the first one who uploaded on there, who broke that news about the circles.
Thank you so
So
much, Nishant, for reading from our website.
keep doing the good work. I'm an avid follower of your website, and I hope to have the conversation again soon.
Thank you so much, Nishant. We'll definitely do it.